to basically the criteria I was saying about before we even have a conversation, and my reason being, I was saying one of the criteria was you have to have a passport, you have to have had some travel, and basically able to have a serious, informed conversation. And you just, if you don't mind showing us again, you don't got to show us everything. The brother, he has the dual passports. I respect that. There we go. So obviously he's one of the passport bros. Shout out to all of my brothers who have passports. If you don't have a passport, you're playing yourself. That is, to
Fair
me,
enough.
I might disagree, but I think that's your freedom.
Yeah.
And so, my brother, you're an author as well. Please tell me just a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I helped produce one book and publish my own book, motivated by Tupac, The Rose I Grew from the Concrete. So it's an autobiography of a time period in my life. So it's a little storyline mixed with poetry. So as stuff happened to me, I explained what kind of happened that kind of led to led to the next poem. So you get to do a little bit of both. I found that creative, yeah. So I wrote that when I was about 17, between 17 and 19, published it at 21.
I'm gonna read your book. Oh God,
Yeah.
I love, especially man, for my brothers, man, who be writing, they do their music or your travels. I love to support the brothers, man. And unfortunately, I wish we were more like black women and Democrats, if you ask me, because they stick together a lot. Black men, I think we're working on it. I think we see the need to work together a lot more. I want to ask you a very quick question. We kind of conversed a little bit over email earlier, and honestly, I did not look into the shooting in Minnesota. I honestly wanted to get your take on that because that was one of the things we had discussed earlier that we wanted to talk about. And I totally agree. I didn't look into it, I promise you, until today, until you mentioned it. And usually I follow these things, but the reason why I did not look into it, no offense, I feel like if it gets me, it's high enough for me to hear about it. If it don't, I think it's still in a phase of them trying to figure out what's going on. But I looked into it and I was like, oh, okay. And I wanted to know from you specifically, like what anything, like what's your opinion on it, the whole thing.
ICE is America's ISIS. That's what I think.
Now I have to totally disagree. Totally disagree. Totally disagree. 100%. Um, Now, when it comes down to what I think happened,
Well,
and
no, let's stop. Let's stop. Let's stop. Let's stop for 1 second. I'm not. I don't mean to cut you off, but I need to redirect this conversation and make sure we on topic here. Each individual incident is one thing, and we may be able to have a different perspective as video and this, that, and the third. But when we're talking about my comment, ICE is America's ISIS.
Mhm.
As far as I know, without going into too much details, I know ISIS to be running around terrorizing their own communities. I know ISIS to be walking around with guns, armed, way more armed than the civilians or the people around them. So I don't. I know that about ISIS. I know they travel in groups. I know they cover their faces. I know that about ISIS. I know it's hard to identify who's who. I know that ISIS is also protected by, the funders, the people that's funding them, because basically the reason why ISIS is doing what they're doing is for the greater of the country. Well, ICE is being funded by the higher ups for the greater of this country. They're being paid bonuses, $40,000. So those same KKK, black hating, brown hating 25, 35-year olds, which is what we're seeing, a lot of 45 and these older white men, you now are able to get a bonus and terrorize your own community because the higher ups are telling you it's for a better good.
Okay, so now
So
let me ask
explain
you a
to
quick
me
question.
why ICE is not ISIS.
Let me ask you a quick question. Now, I'm gonna get to that, but I just wanted to ask you a quick question because when I looked into this case, I saw that he was standing there. Apparently, he was standing at a reasonable distance, but he came closer, and that was his right to inquire while ICE is doing their program, knowing that normally they get addressed by agitators, and you walk up to them while they handling their business. So they come and they press you like, yo, back up or whatever. And he resists a little bit. And the way that they tackle him, thinking like, you know what, I'm tired of this shit. Y'all niggas don't back up. Y'all attacking us. So they tackle him. He has a gun. Now I know when I have a gun, and if I'm playing football, wrestling, or anything with the homies on the block, if I'm about to fall, I'm gonna try to fall a certain way where my heat don't fall out. He basically tried to grab the gun to not let it fall and hit the ground. Obviously, I would too, and try to tell him at the same time, yo, I'm carrying. And the motion of it all, gun, brat, 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 he's dead. Now, FBI Director Kash Patel said one thing. He said, if you're there to protest, why do you have a gun? Now, state law, you can have a gun. But unless you're the Black Panthers, why would you be going with a gun at a protest if you're there to just help and you're a white man, help out and just let these people voice their opinion? Why are you carrying in a situation like that?
Okay, so this is so interesting because
But now,
Republican.
One question I got to you. I got one question to you. Now let me answer your question real quick. I'm gonna take 30 seconds on ICE. ICE is no more a terrorist organization than the Nigerian government, than the British intel, than France form of CIA or their form of FBI. People can say all kinds of things about all of these municipalities. ICE cannot be likened to ISIS. That is completely no more than when they tried to liken Nigeria to being the most racist or hateful country. They had to correct that. You can't say that the ICE is anywhere near ISIS, bro. That's exaggerating, brother. Come on now.
Have you ever?
Kanye, George Bush.
In America, we stood on.
Okay,
we stood on
situations. When was the last time that you heard ICE was shooting people like this before this situation happened with Trump?
But that's the point. ICE. If you look at ICE, the name ICE didn't even come about until I can't remember the exact. But it was maybe 25 years ago, like late 90s or early 2000s. The firm. It was named something else. But let's be clear here. The new version, this version of ICE, is motivated by racial motives by Trump and his administration. So hear me clearly. Hear me clearly. Stop. I need you to rewind. I need you to rewind.
Continue, because some people get offended when you say I'm Black. They say no, I'm more. Don't say that. Or I'm Ethiopian. Or I'm Europe. I want to ask you respectfully: would you consider yourself to be a Black man? I don't want to offend nobody. I have friends. I have Moorish friends. When I say that they're Black man, they say, "Yo, don't use that word. I don't do the word Black." And I'm like, okay.
I don't know who they are. I have no problem. I understand.
Are you? And I love yourself a Black man.
Yes.
Okay. When was the last time you heard ICE shot and killed a Black man? I have heard.
When was the last time? So is that our standards? So I shouldn't. Let me just be clear on this. I shouldn't care about what's happening with them until they kill a Black man.
Yes.
That's crazy. It's ludicrous. Okay? Let me tell you why it's ludicrous. Yes, my mother was born here. I was born here. My father was not born here. He is now a citizen here. I am from Brooklyn. You say you're from Brooklyn. Well, for people that's from Brooklyn, food, accents.
What part of Brooklyn are you from?
Culture. I'm church in Utica. Labor Day weekend. I don't care where you are.
Church in the East
18. We embrace. Hold on. This is important. We embrace other cultures because the idea that they go in for convicts, felons only, and this is not a brown colored thing, that is delusional. They want America. Their version of America has little to do with Mexico and they don't care about specific people. It's about the color of your skin. But they can't just say that. So we got
Where
to
at?
start off with criminal.
Where do
Stop. Give
you
me
see
1 second.
that, brother?
Give me 1 second.
Hold on,
Give me
you
one
no,
second.
brother.
Give me
You
one
are
second.
exaggerating,
Give me
brother. Let me
like
explain
give me
something
like
to you.
30
Give
seconds
me
and
a
I'm
couple
gonna be
seconds
quiet.
because I don't want this to go to your way, to my way. Let's go back and forth. Let me explain something to you. I told a friend of mine who was in the Philippines with me in Dubai. I said, name me 10 people in Cambodia, Sri Lanka, Thailand that you know is famous. You can't name me 2 people in Philippines that's famous. You can't name me 2 people in Thailand. How many black people do you know that is famous? We have done a marvelous thing on this world. Why do we need to worry about anything? Black people are the highest blessed people in the galaxy. Not just Muhammad Ali or Jordan or Michael Jackson or Aretha Franklin or
Did
Red
he
Fox
just ask me
or Eddie
why should
Murphy.
we be
Brother,
worried
we
about
have
anything?
done a magnificent thing on this earth. Jazz, blues, invented clocks, music. Why are we complaining? We at the top of the chain, brother. Where is all of this emotional stuff coming from, King?
We
You a
are at
black
the
man.
top
We
of
need to
what
worry about what's
chain?
going on with us and black
How
men
are we
households.
at the
Our
top of the
divorce
chain?
rates, we have nothing but black men in jail. That's what we need to be talking about. The black men being thrown out of our home, unfairly divorced in family court. Why aren't we as black men arguing about that? Why are we worrying about Minnesota and what's happening? Jewish people and Chinese don't worry about that shit. They are busy locking it up. We're not doing that. We
Yeah,
had this rally.
yeah.
Why? I'm asking you,
Okay.
why do you feel a need that we need to focus on those issues instead of the no man in the house situation? The fathers that's been thrown out by the federal government.
So
Why
I'm gonna say
don't
something to
address
you.
that?
I want to say something to you. I'm gonna say something to you, respectfully.
Go ahead.
In history, think about who you would be in this scenario. So in history, right? When we the slaves, we could go to any part of history. We could go to any part of history, but I just want to show you something. When we the slaves
We
decide
were
that,
all
hold on,
slaves. But go ahead. Go ahead.
when we the slaves decide that, hold on, wait a minute.
Wait, India was slaves too, just so you know.
Hold
So
on, wait a minute. Hold on. When we
Nigeria,
decided slaves, hold on. When we
who
decided
are you saying as
slaves,
slaves?
I- who? What's the question?
Who are you saying were slaves? Japanese were slave people from India and Sri Lanka broke apart and
Brother,
Pakistan.
when this
They
point I'm making,
British.
who the person, the type of race, the race is irrelevant. Hear my point. When people are ready to rebel against the government, putting armed, untrained people against the street, when we are ready to rebel against the white man, when we are ready to rebel in any scenario, any country, the rebeller, the person that's saying we deserve better, this is not legal. You are killing us. I'm the rebeller. You are on the other side. Here you on the other side. Well, hold on now. Master did allow us to eat an extra apple this week. Hold on now. Hold on. The farm on the other side is way smaller and they don't get as much food. But Master is doing right by us. So for us to go ahead and rebel and want our own house and want our own rights and don't want to be treated this way, we need to stop complaining. That's you. That's who you want to be in history.
Now, let me tell you who I am in history. First and foremost, this is my land. I am not an African. I have nothing to do with Nigeria, Ethiopia, Eritrea, South Africa, Ghana, the Congo, or none of them. Just so you know, I'm an indigenous black, an original Native American before all of this other stuff. I'm the people that you find in Mexico today that you call the Olmecs. That's who we be. I am black, first and foremost. What I've done on this earth as a black man is greater than anybody who can come in my face with anything. I don't care who you are. The white man, to me, is just another man on this earth trying to figure it out. He don't run a goddamn thing from the weather to the stock market. You understand me? We give these people too much credit, and you looking at the wrong thing. In my opinion, I'm not on the other side. I am, bro. I have no. I'm not stuck to any symbol of land or black pride or this or that. I'm from the universe. I control energy, vibration. Like, I'm free. I'm not stuck to a narrative of the black man and this and back when we were slaves. The Irish were slaves, the Italian were slaves, Ethiopians were slaves, Eritrean, South African, the Chinese, the Japanese, India. I know all of India history. Great friends of mine. Sri Lanka. Everybody was a slave.
When
Why do
you do an
you
interview with a Japanese,
need
you
to
can speak to the
power slavery up
Japanese
in the sky
about what
and
their
never forget it?
obligation.
And everybody
When you
else,
have an interview with a
hold on, sir.
Japanese,
Do you
you can
know the
speak to
history
the
of Romania?
Stop, hold
Do
on.
you know the
When
history
you
of
speak to a
Poland? Do you
Japanese,
know the history of Nigeria? Do you know the history of Haiti? Black Americans think we were the only ones in slavery. That's what we don't seem to understand. All of the world have been slaves. Muslims, Ottomans, Iran, all the people have been slaves. We only look at our narrow part of where we come from and our Negro leaders who out there pushing that old chitlin shit. And we thinking that we're the only ones. Then we go to India and go, oh my
brother,
God.
let me say
Oh my
something. Let
God.
me say something. Let me say
Ethiopia.
something.
I know this
Let me,
happened in the Philippines. We are too small-minded when it comes to people.
bro, stop. Just slow down for a
And
second. Let me
hold on, I'm
just
gonna
say
slow down. I'm
something.
gonna say this last part. We as people of color, we are too small-minded, and I believe we're not looking at the greater picture. That
No
every
problem.
for not just dark black people and brown people.
I
Everybody.
want to I want to comment on what you're saying, but I kind of want to move forward because I just want to clear this up. The only reason I brought up slaves was as an example of who you would be in that scenario. I'm not really the one to like
I'm
be
taking
just
George.
throwing slavery around for any random reason. Just hear me out. That was just an example of a scenario, who you would be in that scenario.
By the way, are you
Okay,
a Democrat?
and that's a good question. Let me answer that clearly. I support the Democrats' views now. It is easy, but I make sure that I understand that I don't stay. I look at policy. You know, I don't get caught up too heavy on Democrat, Republican. Like I'm not getting into that, but I do understand there's two parties. One of those is going to win, and which one policies I agree with. Now, if there becomes a Republican that says, "Listen, I feel like we should have our Republican ways back." MAGA has taken over this party. You have the MAGA cult, and then you have the Republicans. They are separate now. They don't even agree on the same stuff anymore. When that Republican comes and has the kahunas to admit that some of the stuff that's going on here now, they did not vote for. This economy, wars, they did not vote for. Republicans don't like those type of things. When they have the kahunas, I might actually entertain that Republican. That's how unbiased I am. But stop right here before we go on that side. Let's pull back for a second. Us as Japanese people have their history and they have what they need to learn and know about and what they need to be aware of. They need to know their enemy. Chinese needs to know their enemy. Russians need to know their enemy. The white man knows his enemy. You know who the white man enemy is? Everybody with melanin in their skin. Because if we keep mixing with them, this has been all of them issue. I mean, from the Nazis, this has been their issues from the beginning. If we keep mixing with these brown mother effers, we will be extinct. So they know their enemy. So what I'm saying to you, brother, this ain't about slavery. This is about knowing who you are, knowing your enemy. Because for some reason, it's only us as black people don't know who our enemy are. Only us as black people gonna have a hat behind us that say "Make America Great Again" from a white man that's a billionaire that has never given nothing to his community, has never cared about his community, but he gonna have "Make America Hat Great" that was made in China. And the back of him, right? Watch this, watch this, watch this. I'm cooking. Watch this. Now, that same president, right? That same president, as we may know or not know, he may be involved in some child human trafficking, deep involved. He was the host for the he was the host for the what do you call it? For the a pageant show for teenagers. He was walking into watching little girls when they changing their clothes. And here you are telling me about, oh, you getting caught up in slavery. We focus on the wrong thing. No, brother, I'm not focused on slavery. I'm focused on knowing who my enemy is. You need to do the same.
You know what? You're out of control. Order in the court. Your enemy is child support. Your enemy is cigarettes, Blackie Miles, fried chicken.
Assuming I'm on child support and
You
can't
know,
afford it.
huh?
Assuming I'm on child support and can't afford it. How is child
I'm
support my
saying,
enemy taking care of my child? How's that my enemy?
let me finish because I'm cooking.
Okay,
Our
I'm gonna let you
problem
cook.
as black men is not other races. We can learn from Jewish, Chinese, Mexicans, bust they ass, Jamaicans, white people. White people give your ass a record deal, a basketball contract. You turn around and talk about, I can't deal with them. We is fucked up. Our enemies is our own self. Our enemies is the nigga on the next block in the next project. The nigga
Give
with
you a
the flag
contract.
over there, the Compton nigga versus the Best Side nigga. That's who your enemy is. The white man does not mind making money off of you like the Chinese man or the Arab man. You know it like I know it. I've traveled
They
the world.
don't.
I've seen it. Let's stop with the white man junk and we can fix the generational curses. If you're listening,
Mm.
young black people, this emotional chitlin circuit, black church rehearsal that he was just reciting is what they teach you black 101ness. You're a victim. The white man is your enemy. And nobody else thinks like that but some of our black people. When we're focused, we have no enemies. Nothing can stop you. I am all things and I control all things. How can I have an enemy? See,
How can you have an enemy?
Farrakhan, Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, all of these old relics, they're learning themselves and they come right back and kiss the ring of the same people who they were just talking about and sign up with the Church of Scientology. Al Sharpton, the white man is this, and then you go get a check from the white man. Nigga, please. Black people, get your shit together. We can't do this no more. Everybody has had an issue with the white man, from the Japanese Pearl Harbor, the Indians, and everybody still deals with them. He's their best friend. He's my best friend. I love white people. I love white people. They're not my enemy. You're my enemy. Unfortunately,
Mm.
you're going to kill me because I'm in another tribe and I'm not Igbo. You're going to kill me because I'm not Habesha. You're going to kill me because I'm not a Rastafarian
Who's
or I'm
gonna
not a
kill you?
nigga. That's why we kill each
Kill
other.
you.
Every other nationality comes together. The Hispanics, the Asians, from Japanese to Cambodian, Chinese, North Korean, they all come together. Everybody, all of the
But,
white
but brother,
together.
you're
It's
the one
us
that's
who
so
don't
you're
like
the one
each
that's
other.
with MAGA.
And
So
you
why are you not with your own team?
not getting along. Me and you and
You say
not getting along. Us
you're the reason why we never together.
his fault. I
It's your mindset.
white man made me mad. I sold this nigga crack because of the white man made me mad. I beat this bitch up. I got on child support. The white man got nothing. He just sitting there making money off you like the Jew, like the Muslim, like the Chinese, and everybody who got sense enough to come in your fucking neighborhood, sell your ass wigs, honey buns, sodas, while the powerful black people just prosecute us. Most black women in this country are prosecuting people. And your party who you vote for, people like Kamala Harris, you know it's true. Fonnie Willis, Kim Fox, all of these Democratic ladies, I'm gonna call them ladies, even though
Wait, I'm
Fonnie Willis
confused.
sleeping with a black woman husband, your party
Confused.
is the one that want men and women sports. Your party don't give a damn about the border, and you just enjoy it. What do you say about
Okay,
that?
okay, okay. You jumped around, so now you owe me a dive in right here.
Go ahead.
Okay, first of all, let's talk about men
And
and
hold
women
on,
in
we're gonna
different
have to
parts.
do
Hold on.
too. We gotta do because my battery is dying. I'm gonna charge it up after a few minutes, and then we gotta come back again at 9 o'clock. Let's do part two at 9 o'clock.
I
So
know
we'll
you
stop
ain't come
at
out here
8:05.
not ready.
We'll stop. I'm gonna let you rock to 8:05. You keep rocking to 8:05, and then we stop, and then we come back at 9 for round two, and we do it there. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So this idea of your party want this and your party want men and women, I'm not getting into that because,
Brother,
like I
it's your
said, you have
party. You
stop,
can't do
stop,
that.
stop, stop. I
I own
don't
up to ICE.
know.
I own up to ICE.
Listen. Give me a second now. If you listen to certain radios and certain radio stations and certain media, this is what they'll tell you. When you send your child to school as a girl, they come back as a boy. That's just Donald Trump and the BS. I don't have enough proof of any professional sports with any of that going on, especially for us voting for that. I don't know nothing about that.
Dwayne
So if
Wade.
that's happening, give me a second.
Dwayne
Give me a
Wade.
second. The same way you
Dwayne Wade. Are
disagree.
you kidding me?
Stop. Stop. My job, like I said, my job is not to defend everything a Democrat does. There's
It's to
two
turn your head like
parties.
you don't see it.
I need you to give me a second now, because you got your own stuff on your side that we need to not, let's slow down here. Let's not be throwing stones. And that's the point I want to make. You got the weird Democrats, you got the weird Republicans. So I don't want to get into the weird part about the shit, right? I want to get into the real part. They have weird sides on both ends, but let's talk the real part, right? The real part is this. You having a problem swallowing what you saw with 8, maybe more officers taking down a man that had a phone in his hand.
And a gun.
They didn't shoot him. I don't know if people know that they shot him about 10 or more times, guys. When we already thought
he had a gun, yes or no?
Guys, let me get my can I? I'm in the kitchen. Can I? I just want to be clear here. What we know is this: the man did not come with gun drawn. Every time you ask them was there a point he had the gun drawn, they say we're waiting on more evidence. What we did see from our own eyes, nobody got to lie to us, is that he had a phone in his right hand. He's right-handed. But he came there to murder ICE agents with a phone in his right hand. You then have 8 officers or more, I'm just saying 8 because I know it's definitely 8, on him. They're professional ICE agents. They can't detain one nurse, 8 of them, after another one comes in to grab the gun. So what were you guys doing? Because I saw somebody kick, I saw somebody punch, but I never saw somebody disarm until the other guy come. But these are professionals, right? You're having a problem with that, but you don't have a problem with the person that sent them out there for the wrong motive. Tim Walz is the governor of Minnesota. He is sending these ICE agents out there just because he has the power to. So now we over here acting like dictatorship in America is cool, where he could go out there and send his little armed soldiers to do his little dirty work. Let me stop you right there before we even get off of part 1, because I think this is needed to say. These are the people. Trump is worried about fraud. Trump is worried about protecting our community. He never protect us from these people. Oh, this guy looks too much like somebody that he can benefit. This looks too much like him. Because as far as I know, this dude got 21 months for fraud and Trump let him out 15 months in. 15 days in, Trump let him free. He's a criminal. I'm trying to understand why we letting these criminals free. What's different between this guy committing fraud, robbing thousands and millions of dollars from America, right? This is what he does, but we are chasing a guy at where? Home Depot? You want more facts? I got more facts for you. This is what ICE is doing. You see that blue? That's just people. There's no crime there. They're not victims. They didn't commit any crime. They didn't do anything. That's what ICE is doing. 70%. Just humans, just civilians, people here on waiting for their legal status. Maybe my grandmother, maybe my great-grandmother, maybe a cousin of mine. But no. Remember, I'm an American. I shouldn't care about people that's trying to better their life and get their papers. I shouldn't care about the fact that I only see 8% violent crime here.
Okay.
So who you locking up? You're locking up Miss Louise. I got 30 seconds and I'm going to be completely silent. 30 seconds. You're locking up Miss Louise from the hotel that's doing the laundry. You're locking up the Spanish restaurant. I love their rice and their chicken. I love Spanish food. You say you're from Brooklyn, but you want them to come through Brooklyn to lock up Haitians, Jamaicans, Trini, West Indian. You want them to come out there because you're black better than they black. You're more deserving of a better lifestyle than them. What ground are you standing on? Shameful. Part 2 is right.
Good. We're going to stop right here. 8:30, right back. Part 2. You ready? Part 2, 8:30. 8:30, not 9, 8:30. Be right back.